Hi, so you're thinking of moving to the Woodlands, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to take a tour through Google Maps and see where Houston is in relation to downtown Houston, Conroe, and the surrounding areas. Just get a feel for it, where it lies exactly in Texas. And then we're going to go ahead and look a little closer at the Woodlands itself. So I hope you find this informative. And my name's Donna Sitton, and I'll be your tour guide today. So let's get into it. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, then hit the subscribe and notification button to be kept current on everything Houston. I release videos weekly and would like to keep you up on what's going on. So if you have something you would like me to look at in a video, then absolutely put that in the comments. I'd love to help you out with that. And if you're looking to move in the next 9 to 90 days, then hey, reach out to me. Send me a text, email, whatever works for you. You can, set up a Zoom call with me, whatever is convenient. And I'd love to help you make that smooth move here to Houston and the surrounding area. So let's get on with our little tour today of the Woodlands. Okay, so here we are in the map. And this is the Woodlands. It's highlighted for you here. And this is obviously downtown Houston area. Galveston's down here, and you have Conroe here. Out here, you're going to have in relationship to to Austin. And see, so here's the Woodlands right there. And here's San Antonio. There's Dallas. Here's Austin. So you have an idea. You can see that you can have a nice weekend in any of those places. We spent a lot of time in Austin. We spent a lot of time in San Diego. We were just up in Dallas last weekend, Grapevine area. So yeah, it's all, within an easy drive, of a few hours to get to them. Dallas is the furthest, obviously, but it's all drivable for a weekend stay. Okay, so now let's get closer in here. Now we'll look at the Woodlands in relationship here to downtown and how you get there. So this is I-45, and you can see Woodlands sits right here on the west side of I-45. So to get to downtown, you could just take a straight shot down 45 and be in downtown. I don't think it gets much more direct than that anywhere here in Houston. There's also this route here, which is a toll road that you could take. And that's a little faster into Houston, and it meets up here with 45. That's a very nice drive. Really cuts out traffic in the afternoons if you're in a hurry and have to get home and you don't mind paying a toll. That's a great way to go. I use it quite a bit when I need to go from downtown to the Woodlands. Then you have, if you want to get down here into the energy corridor, you can come down 99 here, like 249. And then grab the Beltway in. This is the Beltway. This loop right here is the Beltway. It goes all the way around. And we have a loop system here in Houston. So our freeways are, as you can see, you have the 610 loop. So everything inside the 610 is called the inner loop. Then you have this outer loop. And then we've created this other outer loop with 99. It's kind of handy. Then you have all these little chutes, to get you in. So the problem is, like, this 99 is all toll road, so it can get pricey if you need to drive long distances. All right, now to get to Conroe, you just shoot up here 45 and you're in Conroe, and you can shoot over here to Lake Conroe where you can have boating. You can water ski, jet ski, do whatever water sports you like on this lake. It's great. Oh, the airport. I forgot the airport here. So the airport is right in here. So you can just take I-45. Let's see if I can get the airport to kind of pop up here. Anyway, you can just come down I-45 without a toll and come over, and this would take you right here into the airport. Or you can take the toll road down and cut over and come right into the airport. This little toll road here comes right into the airport. It's very nice and convenient. You can go free. You can go without paying tolls, but if you go on the Beltway, you'll have a toll. And if you go on the Hardy toll road, you'll have a toll. So other than that, it's a quick shot. I mean, depending on where you are in the Woodlands, you're half hour, 40 minutes to the airport. Looking inside the Woodlands, let's zoom in a little bit more. The Woodlands is made up of 8 villages. So Grogan's Mill, it started in 1974 by Mr. Mitchell, and Hughes Corporation took over the development. So Hughes developed it all out, and they currently are building new condominiums on the water that are $1.5 million to $2.5 million when they started. Now they're $1 million. I think they're at starting at $2 million and up. So anyway, if you want more information on that, reach out to me and I can get you more detailed information on it. But that's only kind of new development going in here right now. And it's the last piece of land there on the lake that they're developing. So this is the lake that I'm talking about. It's Lake Woodlands. Once that property's developed out, there won't be any more. So let me zoom in here. All right, so you have the Woodlands Mall, which is a big draw for everybody. I live in Tomball. I shop at the Woodlands Mall all the time. And we come in here for date night because the thing about the Woodlands is it's a well-developed community. It was designed back in 1974 to be living and work. So you don't have to leave the Woodlands. The whole idea was you wouldn't have to go outside the Woodlands for anything, for your entertainment, for your dining, for your everyday living. Everything would be contained within the Woodlands. And the Woodlands population is about 120,000 right now on the Woodlands website. That's the number they give. On other websites, it's a little bit less, but I think the Woodlands probably has a pretty good feel for the number of people that they have in their area. So I'm going to go with 120. Plus we have growth and there's always changes. So I'm sticking with 120 right now. And with 120 population, you do have everything you need. The whole feel of the Woodlands was the developer wanted to make it feel like you're living in the woods, in the environment, right? You're not taking over the environment, you're kind of living with the environment. So they kept all their signage to a minimum. So when you drive through the Woodlands, you don't see all different size signs sticking out everywhere. Everything is low and everything is kind of like eye level when you're driving through, or a little above. And pine trees line all the streets, so you don't see any shopping centers as you're driving through. You see driveways into them, but for the most part, gas stations, shopping centers, all of that are tucked in behind the pine trees. So it makes it a very beautiful drive. It gives it a nice feel. I'm from Southern California, and when I'm in Irvine, that's kind of the best I can equate to this development, is that kind of a feel. It's manicured, right? Like it's manicured, but it's pine trees. So it's not quite like Irvine or some of the other areas. But it's beautiful. And if you're looking for that kind of curated special feeling, then this is a great neighborhood for you. I mean, it's hard not to like the Woodlands. It's beautiful. I'll get into the rankings on it, which will go a little bit more into why you like the Woodlands, but it's really special. The problem with the Woodlands is that all the homes were built 1974 to currently, like 2020, 2019, 2021, somewhere in that range they built out. And that last one that built out is here in Creekside. So you have, like Grogan's Mill, this side is all the older homes from 74, and then they kind of worked their way in. Sterling Ridge was kind of the later, and Creekside. And so you're going to have 70s style homes, 80s style homes, 90s, all the ages going through. So if you're looking for that open floor plan or those modern looks, a lot of these homes aren't going to have it unless they were renovated by the current owner or by the previous owners. And but it does give you a nice opportunity if you like something a little bit older looking. If you're looking for something with a little more character, this is a great chance to have it. And frankly, the Woodlands just is aging really nicely. So it holds its property values because it's a highly desired area, and people stay there. So don't discount the Woodlands, really look at it. We'll get into some ratings on it here in a second, but I just want to take you a little bit further around on this map tour. So here is 45. And as you can see, the Woodlands Mall is right off 45. And if you take Woodlands Parkway is what you want to take, because it has the over ramp and brings you right in. This one loops under and brings you under into the Woodlands. So you're going to want to take, if you're going to the Woodlands, you want to take I-45 and come in Woodlands Parkway, and you're going to come in here and you'll see Actually, I think you turn in the street here and you come in and you'll have the mall here and you'll have Market Street here. And this Market Street here is where all your high-end shopping is, like your Tiffany and your Gucci and all that. That's going to be over here. And then your regular mall shopping is over here. And all along this waterway here, you're going to have restaurants, bars, and businesses down this way. So you'll see high rises in here. It's a really pretty view walking along this waterway. There's trails that run all through it. There is a tram that is free that runs all the way through here and connects up into the mall and the mall parking lots. They just added 2 new stops to the trams. So they're constantly, looking at their need and assessing it and then making changes. They're beautiful parks here. This Town Green Park is gorgeous. It's huge. And you can go down with your kids, the Reba Boathouse here is where you get the little swans to rent to ride this little river, paddle boat swans. You can rent kayaks to kayak down here. It's just a lot of fun to come down. If you don't have your own little, paddle board or kayak or something that you want to put in the water, you can come rent them here and just spend the day floating the water. I will say when it's hot, you want to bring water because you will dehydrate on the water. There's no shade. So you need to be prepared with water. It's really important. I have been caught in a situation without it and I get very dehydrated quickly. So it's not good. You want to keep yourself hydrated when you're walking or boating along there. Obviously the walking's not as bad because you can tuck into a restaurant for cooling or something, but when you're boating, it's really important that you, paddleboarding or whatever, that you have your liquid with you. Okay, so that's my safety and my little personal experience tip for you. It's not fun. So you can see down here you have kind of our Chevron and you have they're not small companies down this way. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Well, the Exxon campus is down here too, so you have an easy access. You just come 99 and it's kind of right in this area. So if we come in here to Lake Woodlands, right here you have Market Center, Whole Foods, and you have Hughes Landing, which is a great restaurant area. It has all the high-end. It has all nice restaurants in here, variety of Mexican, you have Brazilian steakhouse, you have Pastino, which is really nice Italian restaurant. There's it's this Hughes Landing right here is just all restaurants and you can dine on the water and it's a fun place to go at night. And the Woodlands, wherever you are in the Woodlands, you're going to find great dining. They have in the Woodlands the Hearsay on the Waterway. They have Fielding's Wood Grill, Republic Cafe, Morton's Steakhouse, North Italia, Chalecci's, I'm not sure how to say it, Chalecci's New Orleans. That is down here in Market Street area. Really good restaurant. My daughter and I like that restaurant. Hearsay's on the Waterway is going to be down here. That's an excellent, really nice restaurant. They have an outdoor patio. You can sit and enjoy a nice evening or afternoon eating on the patio. Really good food. So you have a lot of really nice dining options in the area. High end, median priced. You've got the full spectrum. So you don't have to go downtown for your dining. Now, the other nice thing on the entertainment level is that down here, see Cynthia Wood Mitchell Pavilion. That is right here on the water. And you can have a cocktail or a dinner before you go see it. You could be up here, Hughes Landing, and come down. Like it's really nice. This Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion is a very great place to see a concert, and it is right on the waterway. So you could be parked here, you could be shopping all day, then say, hey, let's go catch the concert. You could be maybe staying in the hotel or have family in the hotel and then say, hey, we'll come down and meet you and then just walk over to the concert. It's great location, really nice. I can't say enough about how well laid out this area is and how beautiful this this walk on the waterway is. You have condominiums, townhomes all along this water. I don't know that you'll find anything less than $1 million on the waterway. There is a retirement home kind of situation here on the waterway that if you're looking to retire and want to be in that area and just, want a different, more communal lifestyle, that's there. So that being said, you have everything you want for food, entertainment. There's a movie theater here, but there are movie theaters throughout all of these villages. Each of them, as this has grown out and developed, has really grown as well. So you have really nice grocery stores, really nice strip malls. Everything you need to live your everyday life in these villages is pretty much right in your village. There are trails that connect you. So that being said, you have entertainment, you have dining, and if you want like bar, nightlife, dancing life, you probably have to go downtown for that. There's not going to be a lot here. There's like one bar or something down here for that. But if you want to kind of do more of that scene, then downtown's probably where you're going to find yourself. But for the most part, you're going to find everything you want otherwise here. So, and plays. Houston is known for its plays. So if you want to see a good play, head downtown. It's a straight shot again down 45. It's not far when you're not in traffic. It's, 40 minutes to the plays. It's wonderful. Now you can see there's state parks surrounding this. Burroughs Park is here. Auburn Lakes, that golf courses. We have golf courses all throughout here. Carlton Woods, Augusta Pines. This is just filled with golf courses. So if you're a golfer, there are many, many beautiful courses here to play on. So, and you have outside of the Woodlands, you have many golf courses around it too that, so you have variety. My husband and I golf, and, sometimes we used to be members at Bentwater up in Lake Conroe, and so that's a beautiful course. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful courses around here that you could find yourself playing. There's many options. Okay, so that being said, you've got your golf courses, you have your entertainment, you have tennis courts, you have 220 miles of walking trails and biking trails. So see all these trails through here? It's covered in trails. It's really fun because all of these trails connect the villages, and you can pretty much reach, you can pretty much ride and bike your way through there. It's awesome. And they're really nice trails. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to do something in that vein, it's great. This is an interesting stat. 38.3 acres of open space for 1,000 residents. That's well above the national average. You have 151 parks within the Woodlands, 90 playgrounds, 70 lakes and ponds, a lot of them are catch and release, and 68 pavilions, 2 boathouses. So you can see you have a lot. There's a lot. If you're an outdoor person, the Woodlands is a great place to be. It's great for your kids because it connects to all the schools. So now we're going to get into a little bit here. The Woodlands, when you get in here, is bordered by 45, pretty much 242. I mean, you can see there's some that extends over that. 1488 on that side. And then you come down here, and then you have Research Forest Drive. Now, before 99 came in, we would pretty much have to go all these sideways into the Woodlands, and it took us forever to get from Tomball to here. But now that they put 99 in and they extend 249 through, oh my goodness, we can access this part of the Woodlands and this part of the Woodlands in like half an hour, whereas before it would take us 45 minutes to get into the Woodlands, and vice versa. If you were coming from the Woodlands wanting to go any of these places, it was a little difficult. So it's opened it up, but with that has come more traffic. And as you can see, there are main thoroughfares that run through the Woodlands, these little main thoroughfares. And if you have that, at rush hour, it's going to be crazy in the Woodlands. At Christmas time, the mall is packed. So you do have to take that into consideration. You're going to have traffic, and you do have people coming from the outside, like Tomball, like Spring, Magnolia, who really like the Woodlands Mall, who really like Woodlands and what it has to offer, because it is like a mini downtown Houston, right? It gives you everything that you want on this side of town, on the northwest side of town. So you get a lot of that influx of outsiders coming into your area. but it's really nice. The Woodlands is a village, and it's located in both Harris and Montgomery County, but only this little Creekside Park is in Harris. The rest of it's in Montgomery. So it's not a bad tax situation there. And you have a very minimal fee that you pay for your township, kind of to keep everything up in the neighborhoods. So that being said, it's relatively in line with property taxes and things to other areas. However, housing prices are higher. And that's because, again, it is a desirable area. It's one of the most popular places to live in the US. It's voted one of the best places to live constantly on the top #1 slot. That's good because it maintains property value. So let's take a look at what Niche has to say about that. Okay, so here we are in Niche, and you can see the overall Niche grade for the Woodlands. See, #1 in best cities to buy a house in America. That's to buy a house in America. That is not to live in America, but to actually buy a home, which asserts that or implies that, you're going to maintain some property value if you're doing that. Why else would they say it's a great place to buy a home in America? It's now it's not as less expensive than the rest of the nation, but for the quality of area that you're living in, it's very nice. So your overall Niche grade is A+, A+ public schools, A- housing, A+ for good for families, B+ for nightlife, and A- for diversity. So you can see they have 116,000 population, 117, I was telling you 120. You can see the homes price ranges here. Obviously we go well over the millions, into the tens here in the Woodlands. Real estate value, $479, $400 for the medium home value. Rents are $17, but this is the interesting stat here. You have rent at 28% and owners at 72%. That's a great stat to see, that you have more owners than you have renters. So you get a lot of pride of ownership. You have less transient people living there. They're more permanent. They're more committed to the area. They're not going to be, coming and going. It's pretty much the renters are there until they can buy, or they're there maybe for long extended work periods. So Woodlands rankings, best city to buy a house in America, 1 of 229, best cities to live in America, #2, and best cities to raise a family, #2. That's hard to beat. I don't care where you are in the US. These are really hard numbers to beat. That gives you a pretty good idea of why people here like the Woodlands. And it is a place you either like it or you don't. My husband doesn't, because he doesn't like all the restrictions. I like the Woodlands. I really like it a lot. So just depends on what your personality is. I like areas north of the Woodlands too. I like Shenandoah, the Shenandoah area here. It's over here, Shenandoah. But it's wonderful, really cute little area. I like north of the Woodlands now. Like I said, they're building out new areas in here all the time. So this is a really nice place to live, though actually Conroe's pretty. But overall, we're on the Woodlands. This is a really hard place to beat for quality of life, conveniently located downtown, great schools, as you can see on Niche that we were on looking at the schools. Great outdoor living, 8 villages to choose from, each having their own personality, each located differently within the Woodlands. So some are tucked further back. The ones closer to 45 are obviously going to have easier access to the airport, to downtown, than these that are tucked back in here that will have surface roads that you have to pretty much get out here and then connect on, or go through and connect on. So that's kind of going to sum up my map tour. I don't want to make it too long and too involved. It's really to give you an overview of the Woodlands and what it has to offer. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, so that wraps up our tour of the Woodlands. I hope it helped you at least keep it on your list, or cross it off your list, or add it to your list. And if you're looking for something to compare it to, I would compare it to Irvine, California. It's got that same kind of vibe. It doesn't have any hills or mountains. We don't have those here in Houston, so don't, expect that. Let's just keep your expectation real. We're 50 feet above sea level and flat. So, but when you're in the Woodlands, it's a beautiful place to live, work, and play. It's got that kind of vibe that Irvine has, and I think you'll really like it. If you are going to be north of Houston, if you find that that's where you want to be, then the Woodlands is definitely someplace you want to check out. Again, there's no new home construction, but there's a trade, and the quality of life there in the Woodlands is worth considering. There are some other neighborhoods around there that are worth exploring that would be neighboring it and could then lend you the ability to go in and out of the Woodlands. But if you're looking for, something north of the Woodlands, definitely, or north of Houston, then definitely check out the Woodlands. All right, that being said, if you're looking to move in the next 9 to 90 days or 9 months, give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, whatever works for you. I'd love to walk with you on that journey and help you find that perfect home here in Houston. All right, take care. Hope to see you around. Bye.